Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to put this one together regarding freebies, discounts, anything that helps and aids owning, running an EV and having some renewables in your property. Solar, heat pumps, everything else. If you watched my last video post, you'd have seen where I put on the 340 miles per gallon with a homey charger and Octopus Energy supplying my electricity at 7p for every kilowatt hour I'm banging in that Tesla of mine. Well, that's proved itself, people. Used it many times now and it's been great. So I thought, what else can I put on a post to help others get something back? So put this thing together. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it to help everybody who's running an EV or into the renewable sector. Here we go. The first one that comes to mind is to kind of keep the charge prices down for public charging, because let's face it folks, we all know we pay that 20% VAT at every public charge, which I think is a disgrace and we shouldn't be doing that. If you want to encourage EV ownership and use for the next 2 to 3 years, I don't see why that VAT should be on there at such a high rate. It should be on at around 7 maybe, let's say that and be fair. Here's a giveaway for you from Instavolt. Go down to the App Store, download their app. It's so easy. There it is there. You're looking at it there on your left hand side. Get that downloaded on the store, and then once you've put your details in and you've used the app once on a charge, you will get £5 free of charge. Just use that code there, YD, capital C, M, capital W, to get the £5 credit on your account. There's a free one for you. Now this next one's all about buying a car new, i.e. an EV new. There are some great deals out there folks. There's a lot of 0% APR deals. There's a lot of very cheap PCP deals at the moment, and all EVs have dropped in price tremendously. Things like the ID4 for example, let's point at that, and the ID3, very common car, and even the Teslas. You know, there was one time when they were £800 a month. Now they're dropped as low as 400 on lease deals, etc, so look out for them. CarWow's pretty good for this. They give you some decent rates, and there are a lot of other people on YouTube offering this or giving guidance to them. So this is all about buying new mainly, and that is some great 0% PCP deals, so look out for them. Okay, moving away from the EV ownership onto the renewable side of what I like to do, and that is solar. Just check out these prices of these solar. Yeah, these three here for example that I'm showing you now, these three are superb. Now I'm not going to flash any caveats onto this. You pick and choose who you want to use for your own solar. There has been some horror stories of solar companies saying this, that, the other, and then not coming up with the goods and not being certified and having shoddy workmanship. But I believe these three I'm showing you now on the screen should be pretty good to use, but don't take my word for it. Always be careful, always do a lot of homework who you pick. Now I know that Octopus Energy, my friends, are actually, don't get any money for this, I'll say it again, they don't promote me. Their systems are around 10 and a half. Now they have got £1,000 off at this particular time for the winter period, so it'll make it about 9.5 fitted. But that's a good 2.5 to 3 grand difference in what you get for your money. Some solar panels only come with a 15-year warranty. I know that Octopus come with a 25-year warranty on everything they install, so something to look at. Do your homework. Okay, this one is about our Chinese friends, BYD, taking over the Western world when it comes to cars, and look out for them in the next couple of years. Wow, things are going to happen big. I'm a big believer in the Chinese car, and I have got 1 or 2 videos on this channel which you can obviously go and watch if you want to, like that one. Yeah, that's a good one to watch, all about China. And this one, yeah, it's another one about BYD and the first time I went and used a certain charge company. But anyway, let's move on. Now, BYD have actually got together with Shell Shell are not the cheapest public chargers to use in the world, and we all know that. And if you're a seasoned EVer, you definitely know that they're one of the most expensive. Well, BYD have come up with a great deal that if you buy a brand new car from them, Shell and BYD have got together to give you up to, I believe this reports of it now being 24p off per kilowatt hour that you actually take out of that, suck out of that charger. That's a lot of money to be saved. If you're doing 10 to 15,000 a year in your EV and you use Shell predominantly, and you're saving 24p off their 79 or 84p price, it brings it pretty much well down to a lot of other chargers. And don't forget, these are quite fast chargers, so well worth a look at if you're buying a brand new BYD car. Ask them to get involved with the Shell card. You don't need anything else. You just go up, tap, plug it in, walk away. And when you're finished, again, you tap, you walk away. So only with brand new BYD cars. Now, there is a bit of confusion with this because on the BYD site, as you can see here, it says at the top there 15 pence. But if you go onto the Shell card site, it does state 24 pence. So just be careful with that one and do your homework. This one's all about fuel. Now, fuel cards have been around a long time, and I can remember when I was in business, I nearly went ahead and got a fuel card. They can be a bit restrictive, and they're also no good for a private person normally. One-man bands can get in there and use them as a business card, and there is savings to be made if you're doing the mileage. Now, if you've got a fleet of cars or you've got a fleet of EVs, this is the one for you because you can make a difference of 2% per fill-up per charge. Now, 2% don't sound a great deal, but if you've got 8 vehicles over a year, money in your pocket. It also allows you to take the fuel, take the charges and everything else and pay for it at the end of the month, which allows you a bit of flexibility on your input money and outgoing. Thought I'd mention them. They may be useful to one or two of you. Now, here's one. It's only for my American subscribers and viewers. Hello there in the US. This is called the Ford Power Promise. Now, if you are buying a new Ford, i.e. the Mach-E or a Ford Lightning pickup truck, you can get, wait for this one, a brand new home charger fitted as part of your ownership, as part of your purchase. Now in America, no, it's in the USA, because you're not using the 240 volt, you're very limited to what sockets you can use in any household, and it's normally your washing machine ones, I think, which work on a higher voltage. Well, you can get a charger to come off that and whatever. Ford are willing to pay for the whole lot in your home as long as you buy a vehicle from them before, I believe, March 25. So be quick on this one. So there you go. If you're in the US and you're thinking about buying a Mach-E or a Ford Lightning pickup truck, it's called the Ford Power Promise. New home charger fitted, in with the price. Now, the next one I'm going to mention is Octopus. Back to Octopus again. I'm not being one-sided here. It's just that they seem to have the best deals at the moment. If you are not a member of Octopus, in other words, you don't get your electricity supplied or your gas supplied from them, you can still use this. It's called Electroverse. Been going a while now, but the idea is there's nearly 950 something thousand charge points that you can use Electroverse on. What it simply does is, on the app or on a card you can send for, this is what I got when I sent for the card here, I'm showing you now. This is the card, you can send for it, it's free, doesn't cost you a penny. Just simply download the app and it'll ask if you want a card or not. And if you want a physical RFID card, then do it. Then you've got best of both worlds, I guess, if you haven't got your phone with you, but hey ho, you never know. But that's the card. So moving on, Electroverse. It costs nothing to join. The idea of it is to give you cheaper charging rates at EV stations. Now, some may give you next to no discount. Others I know can give you up to 8% discount, depending on time of day and if they've got a deal with Octopus at the time. Look out for this on the app. It's called plunge pricing. It's when they give a 15% or 20% discount on certain chargers at certain times. There is a way of doing it for business as well, and you'll find that the business one, you do pay a small charge per vehicle, but again, good savings to be had, and you'll get bigger savings on the business one than you do on the private one. So well worth a look at. Check it out with Octopus. Again, you do not need to be a customer. Electroverse will work on Ionity, Shell recharge units, Osprey, Mer, which are the curbside ones, even Instavolt, which is one of the most expensive, so it's nice to get a bit of a discount on an Instavolt unit, Ubitricity, and I believe there's one called Blink as well out there that'll work on. They're just a few of the charge points stroke brand names that Octopus Electroverse will work on. I'm trying to give it all together and get you discounts, and that's a great idea. Good concept, give it a whirl. More good news about charging prices. Instavolt have extended their off-peak tariffs down to 54p a kilowatt hour now. That is extended from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m, 2 extra hours every day, so make the best of Instavolt. Now, as we come to an end on this post, I know I'm going to rant on again about the grant. Here in the UK, we have a grant worth £7,500. It's free money, kids. Heat pumps suit the vast majority of buildings and properties in the UK. This will never happen again. I've got a feeling as well that this grant will disappear pretty quick under this Labour government. So get in there, get the £7.5 grand towards a heat pump. I'm doing it, and all it's costing me is £400. Yes, £400. They are paying the rest. In a larger house, larger building, different circumstances, you might pay a couple of grand towards it. But my God, what a deal. So remember the grant. Go for it now, because I don't think it will ever happen again. Hope you'll use them referral codes, very useful. I get a bit out of it, I know that, but you can also get a big chunk out of it, £50, £100, etc, etc. So they are there to be used. So if you're thinking about having a heat pump, you're thinking about coming over to Octopus Energy, use them codes. Also, don't forget the Instavolt code I gave you at the front end of this post. Anyway, I'm going to drag this one to an end. Hope you've enjoyed it, hope you got something out of it. Hope you get some kind of discount or save a bit of money on your renewables and on your EV. So bring it to an end. We'll see you again sometime. Thanks for watching.